Despite the Ministry of Education's call to schools to desist from hiking school fees, most parents this academic term have had to part with hefty payout to schools at all levels. The parents we interacted with declined to show their faces on camera, indicating that they have been forced to shift to government schools due to hefty tuition fees and requirements such as reams of paper and cartridges, among others, in the private schools.
The reason why I decided to take my child to government school, UPE, is because of the requirements of some private schools which I went to, the neighboring schools which are near my home. They were asking for the requirements I could not afford. Some schools asked for the requirements which are even more higher than the school fees itself.
There are some requirements you look at. They are not necessary as such. For example, the government fee. What are they going to do? Teachers' circle fee. Now, teachers' circle fee. How can I contribute to the development of your teachers?
These parents say schools have introduced extra levies on fee structure compared to previous academic terms disguised under development fees.
Most of the schools are saying that if you cannot afford the school, try elsewhere where you can afford the school fees. They even reached an extent of saying you pay the whole amount on the first day. But during this COVID-19 situation, how can you tell someone to pay the full amount on the first day?
In light with these, lawyers led by Michael Aboneka and Andrew Karamalji, together with education activists from Initiative for Social and Economic Rights, have petitioned the High Court in Kampala, seeking orders to compel the Education Minister to exercise her mandate, regulate tuition fees, ban excessive school requirements, with learners only taking personal items.
And on the background of COVID-19, where parents are struggling with money, where every now and then fuel prices are going up, the minister and government need to come in, because an uneducated society leads to inequality. When a child is going to school, whatever they need as personal effects, that's all. They shouldn't take any other further requirements. How do you pay school fees and then you bring the rims to print your test? So all those requirements that the school calls mandatory shouldn't be allowed.
The lawyers and education activists say they have also drafted a bill to send to Parliament so that the education sector can be fully regulated instead of being monetized.
The bill seeks to ensure that there are caps or regulations or limits beyond which no school should charge for the education of a learner. This occurs across 4 levels: the elementary, intermediate, secondary and tertiary levels.
Under this bill, lawyers want the government to protect some sectors of the economy, such as health and education.
Even in the most advanced or fairly matured free market economies, governments step up and seek to protect certain sectors which are vital for the public good, for the assurance of the public good.
The bill also states penalties for schools that violate the stipulations put in place by the education sector, as it is an essential service.
Put the caps, you could call them caps, as well as the line institutions responsible, which officers are responsible for enforcement of that bill should it become a law.
Since the reopening of schools, Ministry of Education has warned against hiking of tuition fees. It is unclear how far the ministry has gone in controlling those who violate the warning. The ministry is yet to pronounce itself on the matter.